What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Horror Nights Unscripted, a podcast dedicated to all things Halloween Horror Nights related in an unscripted and unique way. My name is Scott from SoCalExploring.
I'm Michael from Hallowed Thrills.
I'm Adrian from LoshTV.
And we are Horror Nights Unscripted. So this is the beginning of our 4-part series that we've been talking about and hyping up. And, you know, when we were teasing it, I talked about it's kind of like what everybody else has been doing as far as creators go and building their own Halloween Horror Nights. But we really wanted to take our times with this. And you know, we have logos. We have different promotional images. If this were to be like brainstorming, if it was like an actual Halloween Horror Nights announcement, all three of us have been working really hard at creating these for you guys and brainstorming these different houses. Now, I will say this, and I think you guys may agree with me on this, is this wouldn't be my dream event, like, for Halloween Horror Nights. It's just mazes and houses that, like, we just want to do.
Yes and no, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I would like to attend this event off of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to attend the event, but it wouldn't be my dream event. Like, it wouldn't be like the blockbuster.
I'd love to see our ideas come to life. And then...
You guys will see once we get into them, but there's some funny ones on there. But so we're splitting this in 4 parts. So the way that it will be laid out is today we're going to do Orlando. We're doing it for both Orlando and Hollywood. Orlando has 2 parts. Hollywood has 2 parts, making it 4. The first episode, which we're watching today, will be Michael talking about 1 house, 1 scare zone, and 1 show. It will be Losh talking about 2 houses, 1 scare zone, 1 show, and then myself being 2 houses, 1 scare zone, 1 show. So with the scare zones, we all did 2. With the shows, we all did 1. And with the houses, we all did 3, right?
Yeah.
3. So, and then part 2 will be the rest of it. And we also voted on a main theme, which we're all going to be creating a house together. And the same will go for Hollywood with its mazes, scare zones, and shows. So that is how we're splitting it all up to kind of, you know, keep you guys hooked on what our ideas are. But before that, before we dive into building our own HHN, we have some new merch, boys. Some new merchandise.
Spicy, boys.
I'm very excited about this merchandise. I'm showing it on the screen right now, guys. I'm really excited that we can all be featured on this now and all, you know, have one of our symbols on there. You want to explain what those symbols are, Michael?
So we have Adrian's Reaper, we have Scott's little ghost man, and then we have my Raven all together on the design.
Where can they find that, Adrian?
They can find that at all 3 of our TeePublic. I'm so sorry, TeePublic.
They always say Teespring.
I don't know why, but all 3 of our TeePublics. Those will be linked down in the description if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on Spotify or anywhere else that you can find your podcast, come over to YouTube so you can see the links down in our description. And so you can see our beautiful faces.
Have you put it on yours yet, Michael?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I'm falling down on the job.
It'll eventually be on Michael's, but it's on yours, Adrian?
Yeah, I put it up.
Okay, cool. So it's on both mine and Adrian's, and it'll eventually be on Michael's. I'll link down in the description and for you guys to get the newly designed merchandise to represent us. You know, you can get T-shirts, stickers, you know, whatever you want on there. You know,
you can put them anywhere. We love those beautiful stickers.
And like Adrian was saying, you know, make sure that if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts at, you come over to the YouTube version, especially for this series, because it's going to be very visual, kind of using images and stuff to tell the story of our different mazes and houses that we're creating. So you'll definitely want to check out the YouTube version, or you could check out both, you know, listen to it twice and then watch the visual version, you know, who knows. But I say we get into it, boys. Let's get into it.
All right.
Michael, I'll let you take it away with their first house of the Orlando event.
All right, so my first house is a returning original house. But it's just a different theme for it. So my first house is Body Collector's Shadows of the Past. Now, the little backstory that I have for this is the gentlemen are back and are continuing their plan to resurrect the Terror Queen via her Terror Throne ritual. The gentlemen need more sacrifices and body parts to make sure that the summoning works. And they're going to attempt to use you as their next victim for the ceremony. Now, as you go through the house, you are followed and stalked by the gentlemen as they attempt to use you as their next victim. And they are also using the shadows of HHN's past to do their bidding. There will be past characters appearing in this house, such as Bone from Festival of the Deadliest, various demons from the Fallen, and then also Weeping Angels will also make an appearance, as well as a ton of different shadow monsters will be just trying to do the gentleman's bidding to make sure that the Terror Queen gets resurrected. The other various scenes that you will see throughout the house will be different snippets from Graveyard Games, Festival of the Deadliest, The Fallen, and even Catacombs Black Death Rising, which was an older HHN house. These will just be different scenes where the gentlemen are following you through the past years of HHN and just trying to track you down and pretty much kill you. And the final scene where everything leads up to is where you go to stop the plans of the gentleman of summoning the Terror Queen, and you end up meeting them at the bottom of Ironbone Gorge, which, for people who don't know, is a section of the island of Terra Quentis. And just, yeah, you end up with stopping them from summoning the Terror Queen.
So do you ever see the Terror Queen at all throughout this whole house?
No.
Like, is there a little cameo, a little Easter egg?
That's a tease.
There'll be a little cameo at the end. There'll be a little cameo, maybe of her having a little laugh as you leave the house, but you won't actually see her.
So
here's what you do. Ready? You just get the motorcycle sound.
That's true. That's
motorcycle sound, just motorcycle sound, and then just a little laugh, so you don't know if you actually stopped them. That's a good way to end it.
Yeah. Well, do you think that there would be a Body Collectors number 2 to tell that story? Maybe they come back. The gentleman come back.
I'm sure that the gentleman would definitely come back.
Okay.
Come on.
I like I like how much HHN back history that you used in this one.
Oh yeah, I definitely went further back in history of more of the kind of popular characters that not many people think about, but still love. So you the Grinners from Graveyard Games would definitely be in the house. Bone from Festival of the Deadly is probably the biggest quote unquote icon from the past couple years. It's not an official icon.
I don't know why they don't make him an official icon.
Yeah, I don't know.
They screwed up the marketing, man. That's all they did.
Huh?
They screwed him over in marketing. If they would have marketed him as an icon, he would have got the love of an icon.
They didn't really market him as an icon. They marketed him, but not as the main person of the event.
Exactly.
Literally, he was strung throughout the entire event, but nothing.
But now he's on the Scarezone, or the Scarezone shirt for this year.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Which kind of confuses me, but it's fine. But anyways,
maybe he was going to be a bigger part.
That'd be interesting. But maybe he's like a henchman of the Terror Queen.
Sure.
But the other thing that if you guys found out that when I said about it, was from characters from Catacombs. What event was that at? I can't remember.
I want to say Catacombs was at 08 or 2010. 2010.
2010?
2010.
Yeah, because I just love that whole Catacombs aesthetic, walls just lined with skulls, just following endless paths of just underground dungeons and everything. That'd be such a cool area of the house to have to be chased through by the gentleman and by different characters, and each section of the house will have those specific characters in it. So it'll be you're time traveling in an aspect, I guess, to different years.
You can add that aspect to it,
Yeah, kind of like time traveling.
I hope you guys know that we already saw what we were all doing, but we don't have the backstories of what we're all doing. So me hearing this for the first time, I'm impressed.
I just have one question about the house, sir, over here in the back.
Yeah.
So there in every Body Collector's house, there's a certain scene that is a spine-ripping scene. Will we be placing this in the house, sir?
course. Of course. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but it's going to be in
It'll
there.
be in there. It'll be a transition room.
You heard it here first, guys.
It'll definitely be in there.
Prime rib will be there.
You just got to
And where will this live? Oh, we know Losh has a map. So Losh, you pulled the map. Tell us where it's going to be located.
It's in Soundstage 24, right? I want to say that's where we put it.
Yeah, one half of Soundstage 24, in the Fallon entrance.
Fallon entrance.
Okay. I messed with
So
it. This is one of those ones that I feel like would be a fan favorite at the event, especially with the past of HHN.
And it's in a prime location as well. Oh, it's over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's in the spot where Yeti and Carnival Graveyard were the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I realized off topic? Once we get done announcing all this lineup and everything, we need to have like a ranking video. That'd be sick. But do you have any last notes on Body Collectors before we move on to the next one?
No, I think that's about it. But I really wish that this house would happen.
You guys heard it there first. Body Collectors Shadows of the Past is Michael's first house, and the first house a part of this HNU Build Your Own HHN. I'm sorry for you Spotify listeners who wasn't seeing me clapping if it was quiet
They
at
were
all.
just like, what's going on?
It's like dead silence randomly. We're going to move into mine, one of my houses. So let's see which one I want to talk about first. Okay, I'll talk about this one. Okay, so this one probably wouldn't work out as good for a house, but this will go in the Shrek 4D location, and it is none other than DreamWorks Spooky Stories. So you may be thinking to yourself, that's not scary enough. Which, yeah, you're probably right, but that doesn't matter, right? All right, so let me tell you guys, right? Because I was originally gonna do Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Carnival, but then I was like, why not throw something fun in? And I probably should have done Rob Zombies, but why not throw something fun in? Because I recently watched Spooky Stories since it is the Halloween season. So Spooky Stories is on Netflix. If you guys want to go check it out, DreamWorks Spooky Stories, and it tells a tale of like these spooky stories with Shrek and monsters versus aliens, right? In the Shrek part of it, not only do we see, of course, Shrek 4D, but that won't be featured in the house at all, because in the Spooky Stories kind of trilogy thing, they have the exact movie that you can watch on Shrek 4D on Netflix.
You ready?
What was that?
For the facade, you use the graveyard that they have in Shrek 4D with Farquaad's statue.
No, for the facade, we'll just use Shrek 4D, and that will be the part of the house. That's it.
You just go through the main attraction entrance.
Exactly. We'll walk through the theater and it'll just say like the ghost of Lord Farquaad on it. So you're gonna travel through first into Shrek Swamp, where he's telling everybody that they're too scared for scary stories and all this other stuff, and then you're gonna transition into different scenes like the Duloc scene when they're singing that creepy kind of music and such, and then you're gonna get to where they are in Duloc telling the spooky stories. Transition scene, you see Shrek there, maybe he jump scares out at you, because Shrek's terrifying, but it won't be the normal walk around Shrek character that we typically see during the daytime. He'll have like blood on him, or maybe he'll have like a giant white sheet on him. Who knows? Creativity, So then we're going to go into one of our first stories, right? Which is going to be the Gingy, the life of Gingy, okay? So you have this big oven scene that you walk into, and then out of nowhere, the bride of Gingy comes out and scares you, okay? And then you're going to transition into another scene where it's the scene where Donkey and Puss in Boots are telling it, where it's a giant Clownzilla type puppet of the Waffle Monster, right? So you're going to see the Waffle Monster, you're going to walk under him, he's going to be covered in maple syrup that's also disguised as blood, and it's going to smell like maple syrup in there, and then you have a giant donkey puppet with like his eyes ripped out, popping out at you, and then you're going to go into your last scene, which has kind of the theme Pinocchio, because we see Shrek and Pinocchio in one of these stories kind of retelling the story of The Exorcist, but in their own way. So we'll start to see different scenes from The Exorcist, reuse props and such, of Pinocchio floating up and down. And then if you guys saw at the end of the Pinocchio story, there's Jiminy Cricket there, and he's covered in blood. So this will be a perfect opportunity for a puppet scare effect that jumps out of you of this cricket with blood jumping out and scaring the living hell out of you. And then at the end of it, we're also going to have Monsters vs. Aliens, where you have this giant mutant alien pumpkins, This will be heavily based around puppets too. And yeah, it's going to be some fun, kind of break down a little bit of it. I don't really have much thought process behind this house because there's not tons of scariness that can go into it. It's more one of those joking ones. But after all, there's plenty of different limits. Or that was wrong. There's no limits at all to making these houses. And I'd like to see a spooky stories, a DreamWorks spooky stories. So that is my pitch for a DreamWorks spooky stories maze or house. Please hire me, Universal. I'm desperate.
I'm gonna be honest. I have never seen that movie, so I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Well, you'll see
I was lost the entire time.
You'll see it once I put the pictures on the screen.
Trust me, it's worth a watch. It's not that bad.
I mean, he said it's on Netflix, so maybe I will.
Well, after we film this, you go watch it, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. But okay, there's this giant waffle guy, right? And that'd be perfect for an HHM puppet.
I'm just trying to visualize that, and I just think of Gingy as a waffle.
No,
giant Gingy from
it's just
Shrek.
A giant waffle with a big mouth.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. That's literally it. And then you have the creepy Jiminy Cricket scene and stuff like that. And of course, the wife of Gingy kind of ties into the theme of the Bride of Frankenstein. Some along lines of that. So yeah, I think that this has room for opportunity, and I really stand by it. So that is DreamWorks Spooky Stories as a house, just to kind of sum it all up there for you guys. Any questions?
Where's Farquaad's ghost?
We'll see. He is in the daytime operational attraction Shrek 4D, where you can check out the story of Shrek and Donkey getting haunted by Farquaad's ghost and then getting pushed off a waterfall, but saved by none other than Thelonious and the Red Dragon. So yeah, you can check it out.
Well, I love the promotion there. Go check out Shrek 4D, guys.
But yeah, and that's really all I had to say about that one. So go ahead, Losh, dive into yours.
I might be cheating here. But I already did a maze treatment for this one. So
okay.
Mike Doherty presents Clash of Holidays, Krampus versus Trick or Treat. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, go check it out. If not, I'll tell you about it right here. I'm going to locate this in Soundstage 22. So that's where they had American Werewolf in London, Ghostbusters, and houses of that nature.
And The Shining? Was The Shining in there?
Was it? Maybe. I want to say that was either at 19 or 22. I can't remember.
I can't remember. It was somewhere back there. But you get a big house all to yourself.
Yeah.
Big soundstage all to yourself.
Big soundstage, so we can really control that weather.
Exactly.
We're going to need to control the weather with this. So, essentially, it's Halloween night, and Sam finds this family that's taking down their Christmas decorations. No, not their Christmas decorations. They're taking down their Halloween decorations early. And when he looks inside, he sees the family's already putting up Christmas decorations. First, who does this? This isn't okay. And you guys know Sam's all about his rules. And one of his rules is leave your decorations up. Basically, don't put out the lantern, but leave your decorations up. Come on. Respect the holiday. So, this pisses Sam off. So Sam goes after this whole family. And one by one starts picking him off. Sam doesn't know there's a little kid here that's writing a letter to Santa Claus. Little kid tears up his note because he sees that half of his family's dead. Throws it out the window. And this wakes up Krampus. So Krampus is now coming for this house to put Sam in his own little personal hell/snow globe. So it's basically them two going up against each other. Krampus sends all his minions. Sam will just be using the creatures of the night to go up against Krampus. Yeah.
Now, see, I really like how thought out you have this one, because when you first presented it to me before Maze Treatments, the competition that Tony's running Nights of Horror, I was like, I thought this was really good, and then watching your video and everything, I thought it was really good too. You definitely got snubbed in the competition, nonetheless, but that's for another video. But I like how you made a story around how Sam is going against Krampus, because you can't just be like, oh, it's just Sam versus Krampus. I really like how you have a story behind that.
You have to like work your way to it. You can't just like say, okay, yeah, these guys are going against each other because they're made by the same person.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
I absolutely love both these movies. They're like classics in their respective categories.
Mhm.
And just seeing them both like fight against each other would be a sight to be seen. Do you have like any plans on how it would end? Would it be similar to like Freddy versus Jason from 25 where
Well, I had
one
this
person
idea.
won?
So I had this idea. The facade for the house is similar to how. Do you remember in Hollywood the Krampus house?
Yeah.
Krampus was in the top left corner, and then Sam was on the bottom right. So half of the Halloween decorations that were off were going to be where Krampus has landed, and then Sam's going to be on the bottom. At the end of the house, you're going to walk back through this same facade, but depending on who won, the decorations are going to be set up like lit up that way, like orange and black or red and green.
Oh, okay,
Final
I
score
see. That'd actually be
everyone.
sick. That'd be really
That's
sick.
yeah, that'd be cool.
And then the final scare by the person, either Krampus holding the burlap sack or Sam holding the little bell.
Oh,
So, you know.
okay. Was that in your
Ooh.
original Maze Treatment?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's sick then. That'd be really sick.
Nice.
No, I like that. I like the idea of having somebody win at the end, and it always being different every time you walk through, especially the way that you pulled it off, because I do like the way that they did it in Freddy vs. Jason over here in Hollywood, but it was simple, This is like you really thought it out with the burlap sack and the bell and the lights, depending on what color they are. I really like that a lot.
Thank you.
Do you have any last tidbits on Clash of the Holidays?
I just have to say I was snubbed.
Oh yeah. Hands down, snubbed.
Yep, snubbed. Hashtag snubbed.
Get it trending.
I think that we're gonna get done with the houses first, so we'll skip you, Michael, until the scare zones, and then
That's
we'll
fine.
done with these two houses. So let's see, which one do I want to talk about? Okay, I'll talk about this one. I gained inspiration from TLAV's Mr. Josue, who's also a dad now. So clapping again. He did a Coraline maze for his maze treatment in the competition, and I was like, that would work out. And I rewatched the movie the other day, and I'm like, wow, this movie, I forgot how extremely creepy and scary it is. So we travel through this house, where will this be located? Do you remember? Oh, it's a parade tent, or it's a parade building, right?
Put in the MIB.
Oh, MIB tent.
MIB 10.
Okay. So so this one can have a facade, correct?
Yeah.
So with this MIB tent location, of course there can be a facade, and that will be the Pink Palace Apartments. It's gonna be this big. Have you guys watched Coraline?
Never.
You never watched Coraline?
Yes.
Damn it! So I'm gonna make no sense again. Well,
Other
basically,
That's all I have to say.
have you guys seen trailers of it at least or
I've
something?
seen the movie.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie.
I have not seen
Oh,
the
so
movie.
Adrian, you've seen the movie.
I have not
Okay.
again.
Okay, so basically, they sum it up for you, Michael. It's about this little girl who lives in these sketchy ass apartments, and then she climbs through her wall, and she goes to the other dimension where her mom and dad love her, but really the mom's evil, and the mom turns into this spider thing. It's really creepy. It's really, really creepy. So we're going to see the Pink Palace Apartments, and outside we're going to hear YB's motorcycle kind of revving his engine. Maybe we'll have a scare actor out there potentially. And then we're going to go in, and of course we're going to be in the original, universe where everything's all good, even though nothing's really good. Everything's kind of dark and gloomy since her parents don't love her. We all know that, her parents don't want to give her attention, so they don't love her automatically, So And then we're going to go walk through a transition scene where it's going to be the big, like, it's a colorful, like, thing that she crawls through. It's like a tunnel, and it's like purple and pink and blue. So, but instead it's going to be like actual life size, so all the guests can fit through it. And in some fashion, I know Orlando will be able to pull this off. They're going to have it to where there's air blowing or something that makes the tunnel kind of shake as if like you're walking through paper, or like the material that's made out of lanterns, or that they make lanterns out of, to kind of shake it a little bit to kind of give you that immersion that you're actually walking through it and such. And then once we get to the outside, we're going to be in the demented universe, and we're never going to go back to the happy one at all because it is a horror event. So this is solely focusing on specifically the demented version. So out of nowhere, there's going to be jump scares from her mom with the button eyes, saying like, Coraline, come for dinner or something like that. We're also going to see a room where there's one of the scenes where the dad's playing a piano, but he's not playing the piano. There's these arms that come out, something that you'd see in like a Dr. Seuss film, these arms that come out and control his arms to play the piano. So we're going to see a scene like that, but then a record's going to scratch, and out of nowhere, the dad will come out with button eyes and scare the living hell out of you. And then, of course, we're going to get to some of our finale scenes where we see the mom as this spider figure with her giant claws and everything jumping out of nowhere. This can also be used with puppets and such, and just really make it dark and gloomy. There's going to be lots of moments in this house where you'll see it as like happy and like Coraline's doing all good and such, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere comes the button people, And also one of the things I forgot to mention on the facade is because in the beginning it kind of shows like the hands of the mom kind of crafting Coraline, and I want there to be like a shadow kind of like in Haunted Mansion that goes over the clock. Do you guys have that in Magic Kingdom? Yeah, so I want that to happen, but over the full Pink Palace Apartments facade. Or like claws that you see in the very beginning. So I think that this is one of the houses I think could actually really work as an experience. It's a pretty demented animation.
So what you're saying is like graphing the actual like Pink Palace and then having the hand go across.
Yeah. So it just like, you could see projections going on, and it won't always just be her hand going across. It'll be like her hands like twiddling, or maybe it can even be her crafting Coraline. Something along the lines of that. I don't know how they pull off where the alternate universe is getting kind of sucked apart. And for those of you guys who have like diehard Coraline fans, if you guys know what the alternate universe is called, then please let me know.
I have an answer for when everything's getting sucked up. Black walls.
Oh yeah, you're right. This isn't Hollywood that we're talking about quite yet.
Okay. Two more episodes.
But I
feel
like
Orlando Black Wall.
I feel like the Sprung Tents will be a good fit for this. You can't really do this you can do any house/maze in a soundstage, but I feel like with the space that's required for this particular house, I think a sprung tent will be just fine. You don't need to use a soundstage for it. I think it'd really work out in a soundstage. And like I said, with the sprung tents, you can see an actual outdoor facade. So this would be a perfect location to put a pop-up Pink Palace Apartments and make it look really detailed and really rusty. Maybe we'll see a scene in there where she sees these two old ladies that are performing like a play and such like that, and the old lady, with every dog that's died, she has their actual bodies on a wall with angel wings. So maybe we'll see a room like that. But then again, we know how people got with Depths of Fear last year and that dog. They got super offended. So maybe we can see stuff like that. What are couple? Adrian, do you remember the mice scene? There's like a bunch of mice that come out and like perform this weird circus thing.
When she like opens up the little door and the mice come out of it.
No, there's this really weird carnival scene where there's this really weird guy, and he's like making these mice perform, and this kind of weird, it's similar to what we see in Shrek with a Duloc, like animatronics that they open up and they play that song.
Back to Shrek.
What?
It all comes back to Shrek.
Exactly. It all comes back to Shrek. But if you guys have watched a movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We could see a scene like that, but just blown up in size, so it's actually lifelike and such. Just small little transition scenes.
Life-size rats.
Life-size rats.
That's how
Like,
you advertise this house. And
exactly.
then you can put the rat lady in this house too. There you go. Boom.
Coraline, life-size rats. And we're not talking about life-size like the size that they're supposed to be. We're talking about the size of humans.
Human-sized rats.
Human-sized rats. And yeah, that's all I have for Coraline. I think that it has great potential if it were to ever come.
My turn.
Dive into your second house, Losh.
Okay. So going from the MIB tent to a sprung tent, I'm going to give you guys HR Blood and Guts presents Halloween Night. So I gave you guys a little backstory for this. I don't think I told either of you this story. Like this backstory, right?
Mm-mm.
No,
Okay.
you haven't at all.
If you guys didn't know, at the end of the last HR Blood and Guts house, he gets sent to prison for life. Okay, so here we go. October 31st, 1971. Larry Gutsberg, also known as HR Blood and Guts, has escaped the U.S. Penitentiary of Cary, Ohio, with the help of an old friend, Lady Luck. They both were wanting to film one more episode of the Midnight Horror Show. The show they will be bringing to life will bring you through the real-life terrors going on in Cary, Ohio, live from the WKNB studio. So, for me, the idea here was, for the facade, I was going to give you the prison cell. And if you guys remember Afterlife Death's Vengeance? It was a house from 2013.
Oh, I didn't watch that far back into Orlando houses.
Okay, so basically it's where I got the idea for the facade for this, but instead, because they have newspaper articles. Instead of that, we're going to have the actual prison cell that you walk into. And then you see the electric chair and everything. You're going to see this, like, you're walking into this moments after they broke out. Moments after they broke out of the prison. So you're going to see a police officer, not police officer, a prison guard, right? That would, prison guard?
Yeah.
Just on the floor, dead. And then you're just going to hear sounds of people running, like escaping. And people just saying, go, go, run! Kind of like, if you guys remember in Havoc, how they'd always have those loud, like, running sound effects. Similar to that. And you go straight from the prison into the WKNB studio. And here you'll see HR Blood and Guts and Lady Luck. And they're going to be your MCs for the house. They're going to tell you, welcome to Cary, Ohio. You're going straight into this twisted tale of multiple things to see. So as you're going to walk into the Scarezone of Twisted Tradition, you're going to see all of the pumpkins everywhere. It's Halloween night, so it's beautiful. But then one by one, you'll start to see these rotten pumpkins coming after you.
You're walking into the scare zone inside of the house?
Exactly.
Okay.
You're walking through the scares, basically putting the scare zone into a house.
Yeah.
You're going to walk into that. You're going to walk into the spawning from 2009. You're going to see the underground creatures, like the sewer monsters that were in the spawning. You're going to see little cameos, because we're not going to give it away too much. You're going to see a cameo of Sam Meats. He's not going to be in here that much, but we don't know why yet. We'll find out later. And then later on, you go back into the studio where they're trying to arrest HR one more time. But Lady Luck doesn't let it happen. She puts the police officer, I can't speak, officer on her spindle, spins him, and HR Blood and Guts throws a knife at him, kills him, end of the house.
Damn, that'd be a good finale scene.
I'd love to see that. That'd be great. That would be great.
Especially since I feel like personally Lady Luck deserves a little bit more love.
I kind of felt like I had to throw her in here because she's the reason he had the job. She's the reason he got hired.
That's true. So she has to be a part of it, you know. But yeah, I really like the fact that Lady Luck's in it. She's not my favorite icon, but she's definitely up there.
She needs some love, man.
So how big would the spinner be? Well, because you said that you're gonna have someone on there, but like, would there be one that's super big or?
Imagine, you know, the one from. They can use the same exact one too. The one from Jack's show from the Carnival Returns.
Oh yeah.
The Carnage Returns. Wow.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I guess they could reuse it.
I can fit in there too without an issue.
Where would this be at?
This would be in where they had Slaughter Cinema and Depths of Fear. The Sprung 10. Front 10 too.
Okay. I see.
Yes, sir.
I like this one. I really like this one a lot. I think that there's plenty of detail, but I think this is one of the ones that, once again, like with the body collectors, would freak the fans out, the diehard fans.
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah.
any idea of kind of a cool concept art? Because I don't think we made one for this, right?
I made one, but I kind of don't like it. So it's basically I have HR on the cover, and then on the bottom I have WKNB radio, and then Channel 21, which was the thing that he had back then. And then I had the Township of Cary, Ohio emblem to the left. And then right behind him, I had the pumpkin. And I was going to add Lady Luck behind the pumpkin. Then I was thinking about just taking out the pumpkin and putting Lady Luck.
I think I have it somewhere. Did you send it to me?
Yeah. I think I texted it to you. I forgot
Yeah,
to.
I think I have it. Oh, I see it right here. Yep. Yeah, no, see, I like it. Like, this is one of my favorites that you did out of all of them. But I don't know why you don't like yours, but I like it. Especially since, obviously, Cary's featured in it, too.
Exactly. It's for the fans. We're catering to the fans with this event.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Especially with that DreamWorks spooky story.
Yep,
This is an extremely heavy fan service event.
Exactly. Any last stuff that you want to talk about, HR? Human resources?
I just want to see him here at the event for sure one day. Again.
They need to start doing more smaller characters, like, to have their own stuff. Like, for example, we were talking about Bone.
Yeah.
Other characters like that. Like, we just, well, I guess that would have happened this year with the Pumpkin King or whatever.
Pumpkin Lord.
Yeah, Pumpkin
Yeah.
Lord. I guess that would have happened this year, but hopefully it happens next year.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely need to like reopen more like quote unquote like dead/ended stories that
Yeah.
they've had. They definitely need to like reopen some older originals.
You know what
Bring
they
them back
need
for
to
the
stop
fans.
doing? They need to stop reusing the same icons over and over.
They need to stop using the same design.
I mean, I haven't even been to an Orlando event yet because I was supposed to go this year. We'll go next year, but I feel like the icons are overused this year for the merch.
I
We've
mean,
talked about it.
they definitely should have pushed forward the lesser popular icons this year.
Well, yeah, and like you said,
they-
they need to reopen like the dead end ones. The dead
Like
end.
yeah, like they definitely have like the main four, the original four have had so many events where it's just the four of them.
Yeah.
They definitely should have done like another like a secondary icon event where they were just in charge of the show, where you would have had like the Usher, Lady Luck, like you would have had all the
Sarah
secondary, yeah. So it's the characters that don't really get talked about a lot.
Here's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about Lady Luck, Cindy, Terra Queen, and the Voodoo Queen, Ladies of Fear. Give them an event.
But yeah, I support that fully.
Yeah.
But now we're moving to scare zones. So we're done with the houses for this episode, and we'll get into more houses on part 2 whenever that comes out, probably within a week span. Moving to scare zones. Michael, take it away with one of your scare zones that you want to talk about.
All right, so this is the scare zone that I am most excited for,
already
and it
know
is
what it is.
really freaking dumb. But when I first thought of this, I was like, back when this film came out, these absolutely terrified me. And the film that I'm talking about is the 2004 Scooby-Doo film, Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed. So now that's the name of this scare zone. It's Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed. It's based loosely on the 2004 film, like I said. And this scare zone takes everything that you love about Scooby-Doo, but turns it dark and twisted. So the little backstory that I have is following a lab experiment gone wrong, all the monsters that the gang have previously faced have come to life for real this time and have overrun the streets of Universal. The location of this is Hollywood Boulevard, so they've overrun the streets of Hollywood Boulevard, and you'll run into monsters like the Wolfman, the Creeper, the Witch Doctor, Space Kook, Tar Monster, Headless Spectre, Ghost Clown, and last but not least, Captain Cutler. And each monster will have their own new, more terrifying look than you remember from back at the old school cartoons. and they will just the different set pieces that you could have throughout this would be like a broken down mystery machine. Um, Kind of like a darker thing would be like pieces of the different characters like clothing that they would normally wear just scattered like throughout the zone, meaning that they're like
Ripped apart.
quote unquote dead, but not really saying that the mystery incorporator actually dead, because that's kind of dark. That's a bit too dark.
That would kill the storytelling of the daytime park.
That's a bit too dark.
Or you can have it kind of like how they had Twisted Tradition and have them running around the scare zone. Like have the teens running around.
Oh, like running around?
Like
Yeah.
running away from them. Because you kind of need that like good versus bad. Especially since it's going in Hollywood. That's how a lot of people see it. Like,
But this is the live action Scooby-Doo, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
based
So
loosely off the live action.
Okay. But also off the original ones too.
Yeah,
Okay.
using characters from the originals as well as the live action, because some of these characters that I named were actually in the live action film. So like Captain Cutler and the Tar Monster were both did come alive in that film.
I'd love to see the Tar Monster. I don't know how they pulled it off.
I don't know how, like maybe like a ghillie suit kind of looking thing.
Yeah.
But it's just like a big like synthetic sheet. I don't know. I don't know. I would love to see it.
This is one of those things that like you don't expect it. You don't think of traditionally Scooby-Doo as a scary thing at a horror event. You know, with my original DreamWorks, it's dumb, but I'd like to see it. With Scooby-Doo, you can actually be like, you know, I could actually see that coming. Like, there's actual big potential there. And some of these monsters are scary. Just in the whole Scooby-Doo universe in general, there's plenty of scary monsters. And I like Scooby-Doo 2 and the live action and other characters, I think is a perfect example of it. Especially with the Scarezone, since you don't really need that much content for a Scarezone. And putting that mystery machine kind of decayed and wrecked and everything, I think is a nice touch.
Yeah, and then the different music, you would just have 24/7 chase sequence. That's all you need. Chase sequence. That's all you need. That's the only sound. That's the only song you need for the soundtrack.
And that's why the kids are running.
Yes. Yes.
They're back and forth.
There's a hallway in the middle of the stairs.
Hear me out.
Doors.
No, hear me out, Michael. All right. I think you need to add something to your Scarezone, right? I think you need to add Velma and Daphne go-go dancers.
No. No.
And they have blood splattered all over
What
them.
you really need to add, ready? A mini stage that has the Hex Girls.
Yes. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Fantastic movie.
Oh my God.
Fantastic.
I feel like there's plenty of different opportunities, even if it wasn't just solely based on what you're talking about. I feel like there's just plenty of opportunities there.
Yeah, that's why I said it was that's why I said it's like loosely based on that 2004 film, because it uses this, it's by the same name, but it's not really, and like uses the basic like concept,
and
but it opens it up.
It'd be a good promotion. Like, it'd be a good promotion name.
It's the name. It's the name that's calling people in. Advertising.
Yeah, it's like it opens it up to allow you to add more things from both the animated and the live action films.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately those films didn't do too well, but you never know. Maybe Matthew Lillard will show up to the event.
Well, like I always talked about, like the Scooby-Doo 1 live action. Like, why don't they make a theme park land out of it? Like Spooky Island, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure, that has huge potential.
I'm pretty sure that actually exists as an actual theme park.
Really?
I'm pretty sure Spooky Island actually exists.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh, you mean like where they filmed it at?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking about just like building a whole new immersive land, like.
But Spooky Island actually exists, and it's actually a running theme park.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Scooby-Doo has a huge potential at, just Universal in general. But I know it's a Warner Brothers property, right? Scooby-Doo is?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's only so much you can do with that.
But there's also Beetlejuice.
That's true.
Yeah, Universal has theme park rights, though. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know. I would love to see this. I I would be so happy if this were to ever come. Like, I'd be extremely thrilled.
Oh yeah. That's like literally was I honestly I think this was the first scare zone that I wrote down.
I remember,
So,
as soon as we filmed our previous Hornets Unscripted, you were telling us about it and everything. You already gave us a treatment already.
because it's such a great idea that needs to happen. I would love to see this happen. Universal, hit me up. Let's do this.
We're gonna move into my scare zone now, which is called Pazuzu's Possession, and this is something that I thought about yesterday. Pazuzu's Possession. Pazuzu, the demon that we see in The Exorcist. The very, very scary demon. Kind of looks like me, Not talk about it, But in The Exorcist, the jump scares were very terrifying at Pazuzu. And I feel like Pazuzu needs his own dedicated zone. Because you can't give him his own dedicated house / maze. It just wouldn't work out. I feel like he needs his own dedicated zone. So basically, this is going to be kind of set up how Chucky was, where, Chucky has basically possessed like these different toys and like the monkeys and stuff like that. But instead it's Pazuzu possessing different monsters and stuff. One of our main theme of the Orlando event that you guys voted on is Vintage Halloween, which won in the polls. And so with the Vintage Halloween, we need a theme of, that Vintage Halloween. So not only will Pazuzu be cross-branded with the Vintage Halloween theme, but we'll also have like witches in there, ghosts in there, stuff like that. But they're all under Pazuzu's possession. We could have some of the stages there where, they did the stages for the icons where they're performing different things. We could have a stage where Pazuzu's performing possessing somebody. We could have Regan in there, just making a little Easter egg, different sets in there of like the bed that we see in The Exorcist. It's going to be a very cross-branded thing. And I don't really know how it would be designed because Pazuzu's obviously terrifying and this demon figure, whereas Vintage Halloween is more exactly how it says, Vintage Halloween. So there'd have to be a fine line there between combining mix of those creative aspects, but I definitely think it could work, and that's why I called it Pazuzu's Possession, because he's going around possessing everyone, the ghosts, the witches, and all the other creatures and characters in that zone.
So after hearing this, right, I decided to change where we located it on the map.
Oh, why? Where do you want to locate it at?
I think this deserves New York.
Okay.
I think it needs space. I put it at the front of the park.
I feel like it doesn't need. It is one of those ones that needs space.
So yeah, I feel like give it New York so it has that entire like feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like this concept.
Yeah. During the entirety of him explaining this, I was like, "Don't we have this in the Plaza of the Stars? This is such a tiny area for this big zone that he's explaining."
Literally, I just started pulling up the map here, and I was starting to edit it. I'm like, "Yo, no, go to New York."
Yeah, there's no way it's gonna fit in there.
The more that I think of it, yeah, it really does need to be in New York because there's just so many different areas and stuff that you need to tell the story of Pazuzu's Possession to really get people to know what's going on. And if it's going to be tied into the main theme too, it needs to be at the front of the park. So I feel like New York's a perfect place for it, really. Any questions on this one, boys? I think that this has huge potential.
I think it's an amazing scare zone. Like, 10 out of 10.
Then again, it'd be the whole cross-branding thing and everything. Another Warner Brothers thing, but yeah, we're talking about our dream event, not our dream. Damn it! You know what?
Yeah, not our dream event, but our fun, our mental,
our fun event that has no limits at all. That would probably never happen, but
never in a million years.
This whole event together will never occur.
Yeah. Some of the houses and stuff could happen, but not all together. No. So Pazuzu's Possession, there you go, in New York location.
So you know what I just realized?
What's up?
My 2 scare zones that I have tie into both of your shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Both mine and his?
No, okay, so one scare zone correlates with one zone, and one scare zone correlates with one show, and the other one correlates with the other. And they're right next to each other on the map, and I did not do this on purpose. But I'll go with the Cary Drive-In, which I have located where Killer Clowns from Outer Space was.
Okay.
So this is basically the not icons, but like the historical figures from Cary, Ohio. So basically carry it on from the HR house and put it
Ooh.
in the scare zone.
I like this already.
Yeah, basically giving you that whole feel, and it's a smaller zone, so it's not going to be that much space. But you're going to have all those characters there, scaring you. Different, like, you know. Again, you can have HR Blood and Guts showing up here. You can have Lady Luck. You can have some icons maybe, and if you want, you can even have this veer into Sting Alley. And Scott, if you don't know where Sting Alley is, it's right across from Transformers.
Is it that really just tight alleyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they used to use it.
Yeah, they haven't used it in forever.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen pictures of it and such, and it looks really tight.
We should all take a picture there.
Okay, I'm down.
Okay.
I'll take a picture on Minions, yeah.
If you can even get in it. The line's gonna be way too long, man.
So I want to ask you this: is it gonna have because you say it's Cary Drive-In, right? So immediately when I think about that, it's like a drive-in theater.
Okay, so like a drive-in theater. Think of like with Slaughter Cinema, we had the sign that was like the drive-in sign. And then also All Night Dine, we had the dine sign. So
Okay.
basically, we're bringing those signs back and putting them as anchors on both
And that's
sides.
what your logo looks like too, like
Yeah,
Cary
exactly.
Drive-In.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. I like that idea a lot. I think that location for something smaller like that, I think that fits well, and you can definitely shove a bunch of different characters in there, and everyone can see every single character. Because a lot of times, with Orlando zones, not with Hollywood zones really, but with Orlando zones, I feel like sometimes you don't see as many of the character. Like there's some after the event ends that you're like, did I ever see that character in there? Because there's just so many. Like especially with the vamp scare zones,
Yeah.
there's so many different characters.
Yeah. I like even with Zombieland from last year, I don't believe I ever saw Bill Murray. I don't think I ever saw Bill Murray
I saw
in that
so many
scare
people
zone.
saying that they didn't see Bill Murray either.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I went through that scare zone I don't know how many times, and I didn't see him once.
Pretty much, we're going to see everyone you love, everyone from Cary, Ohio, that loving town, full of pumpkins, full of love, full of Halloween. And that's pretty much it. So I will let you guys continue with your shows.
Oh, wait, and then you said that was the area right outside of Transformers, correct?
Yeah, right in front of Transformers.
Where Killer Clowns was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure. I couldn't remember if you said that.
That kind of like medium-sized zone.
Yeah. Okay, so now I guess it's my turn.
What
I'm moving
shows?
on to
We're diving into shows.
my show. Oh man! All right, so this is where Adrian was talking about how his zone kind of pairs with one of the with our shows. So this zone pairs the zone he just talked about pairs with my show, which is we're bringing back Marathon of Mayhem, but this time it's going to be Marathon of Mayhem, Cary, Ohio. So the very short story that I have about this is that this show is going to be on the lagoon, and it follows the stories of all your favorite Cary, Ohio originals, such as Slaughter Cinema, Meets, Scream House, All Night Die-In, Silver Screams, both the Havocs, Twisted Tradition, and Gothic. And the entire show is going to be based in Cary, Ohio, and run by Cary, Ohio's own HR Blood and Guts. He's going to be the host of Marathon of Mayhem. He's going to be introducing every single story before we get into them, and the soundtrack we will use for each of this will be each of the respective stories, like soundtracks that they had going throughout the house. So for Slaughter Cinema, you'll go through all the different B films. We might even include some new ones that weren't in the original house. Meets, you'll hear the whole backstory of Sam Meets. Scream House, you'll see the caretaker. All Night Die-In, you'll see the director. It'll just be a whole bunch of different things relating to the different areas. And then, like I said, with Havoc, you'd have both Dogs of War and Derailed in there. And just a big, pretty much a big, once again, fan service type show where you just pretty much push as much Cary, Ohio stuff as you can in one big show and put it on the lagoon, because everyone really seemed to love the Marathon of Mayhem last year. So you take Marathon of Mayhem, you take Cary, Ohio, two really hyped up things that everyone loves at the event, and just smash them together.
Remember when some people were like, "Oh, Marathon of Mayhem's not going to be that good," and now it's like to this day, it's a fan favorite.
Love thing.
I'm kind of upset that I didn't actually take the time to watch it.
Oh, you didn't? You never watched it?
I didn't take the time to
Bro,
watch
I
it.
was sitting here watching. I watched it at home like a million times. I'm like, oh man,
See,
I wish.
I meant to, and then one thing led to another, and I never ended up seeing it. I didn't even watch it online because I was fully expecting to watch it in person. I didn't want to ruin it for myself, and then I never ended up watching it.
So you just watched it online after?
Oh no, I still haven't watched it online.
What? Well, you've seen clips.
But yeah,
of
he
it,
wants
right?
to make a show for it.
I've seen clips of it. Yes,
Okay,
I have
okay.
seen clips of it.
Well,
I
you
have
need to
not
watch it
watched
online. It's
I have not
insane.
watched all of it. I'm sure it doesn't even do it justice, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't either.
Universal at night. Turn on the projectors.
Yeah, true.
Have fun.
Oh yeah, sure.
I feel like a Cary, Ohio theme with Marathon of Mayhem will work out really cool.
You know, I feel like the theme for this event actually is Cary, Ohio at this point.
Honestly,
Well, no, they always have a main theme around Orlando, and they just kind of throw everything together. Like they'll throw in Jack somewhere. They'll throw in everything. Like
We're just throwing in Cary, Ohio this year.
hey,
exactly.
but hosted by HR Blood and Guts, man. That was the last second thing that I added.
Now, will we see him? Like, will he pop up anywhere at all, or is
No,
like,
it'll just be a voiceover.
okay?
It'll just be a voiceover.
He won't be like on the display on
or-
the fountains.
They might like display it on the fountain, like his show, like his actual show, like
Okay.
they have in the promotional videos.
Yeah.
But for the most part, other sections of the show, he might like pop out at the very beginning. But
I like that it's hosted by him though.
It just shows up. Hey.
it just comes out, gets just like projected on the fountain at the very beginning, says his whole spiel, and then moves on to the first show.
Puts his cloak over the water, and then it just transitions.
Yeah,
Fire.
this transitions and goes, "Cult of the Demon Beast, baby." Or
And
Devil Dogs.
what you guys don't know is this will be actually located in Islands of Adventure. It won't be in.
oh no.
I like it. I like the idea a lot. Any last minute things on that?
No, I don't think I have anything else. I'm just really think this is a very heavy fan service show that will draw a lot of crowds.
As the whole event is.
As it is. But that's because that's what we want. We want that fan service.
Well, yeah, we don't want the Stranger Things kids anymore.
Yeah.
My show kind of fits in it does fit in the theme with Vintage Halloween. That's why I'm doing it, which is not going to be like really on the scary side, but it still relates to Halloween, which is Trick or Treat Live. So Trick or Treat the movie, we've seen it at the event twice in Orlando, once in Hollywood. So we're going to see it for a third time in Orlando. So this will it's basically exactly how it is, Trick or Treat Live. So it's going to have a beautiful stage with the town. You're going to have, there's going to be the bus that crashed, the bus massacre. It's going to be on the side somewhere, and just a beautiful set. And it's going to be, like I said, exactly how it is, Trick or Treat Live, where they're just reenacting the whole movie. You're going to get professionally trained actors that are used to doing this type of stuff, why you guys laughing at me, huh?
That's gonna be a fucking long show, man.
No, but no.
Oh my God.
No. Think of like,
animal actors, by the way.
yeah, it's an animal actors, exactly. Think of, no, it's not going to be a whole hour and a half. It's going to be like 40 minutes. It's going to be condensed. It's not going to be like, you're not going to see.
That's still a long show.
No. You're not going to see. Okay, look, Jabberwockies isn't near as 40 minutes.
Really? No wonder
Yeah.
people hate it. No wonder people hate it. I don't think I could sit and watch that.
They do like the intro, and then you don't actually see the Jabberwockies until 10 minutes into the show. And
All right. Anyways, back into your show. Into your show.
So basically, like I said, it's going to be a reenactment of a movie, kind of like a Broadway would be, But instead, it's going to be Trick or Treat.
What you're saying is Trick or Treat the musical.
No, it's not going to be a musical. It's not going to be a musical.
Yeah.
I'm making an example of a Broadway show. You're not going to see Sam singing like a Halloween song, like spooky, scary skeletons. Sam just sitting there like singing. No, but you're gonna see the different kills in it. You're gonna see different sets pushed out, kind of like how if you guys have seen any part of Frozen, the Broadway show over at DCA, where they push sets out to kind of tell a story. That's what you're gonna see with Trick or Treat Live as well. And this will be a show for fans of the film. And if you don't know what Trick or Treat is, like the movie, then it's probably not the best show for you. But I think that, Halloween Hornets has never done something like this. And I think that you can get actual, like, trained actors and that can perform the dialogue and stuff. Nothing cringy, nothing, like, fun and, like, family-friendly like. It's just going to be a reenactment of Trick or Treat, but just live and in person.
Now, if we think about how Universal would actually do this, they wouldn't give any of the actors voice lines, and they just do it all through tape, through a soundtrack.
Yeah, they would.
That's exactly how they do it.
Take the audio from Trick or Treat, throw it into the speakers.
Yep, that's exactly what they would do.
I only want to hear one line. Charlie Brown's an asshole. The only line I need to hear. Don't even put the kid in the show, just put him on the screen.
Oh my god.
And then, and one of the last scenes is there's my proposal for Trick or Treat Live.
So, I don't have any questions because I love Trick or Treat, so no questions. I'm just gonna be.
It's just it explains itself.
Yeah.
So like, is each section of the stage gonna get split up into the different like stories of the movie, or
no?
are you gonna have like actual like moving?
Sets are for. That's what the push out sets for. Because I want the stage to be like really pretty and really beautiful and based around everything that happens in the movie, but also you can't really tell the story of anything with that because they're different stories. So it'll be a bunch of push out sets. For example, there'll be a push out like big bus and stuff like that.
Are we trying to be realistic or unrealistic right here?
Unrealistic. I don't care about realism.
We're throwing this in Bourne.
In Bourne?
Okay.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it in Bourne. You know, why not? Why not do it in Bourne, you know?
I mean...
We'll throw it in Bourne. Right. Well, no, we'll throw it in Fallon.
No, you can't even throw it in Fallon. What? What, are you just going to sit in the movie theater and you're just going to play the movie?
Sam-tacular.
Oh, that would have been a good show. Damn, I missed out on my opportunity on that. Like, imagine you're on Fallon, right? It's an overlay, and like the bus is crashing, and you like feel that.
Oh my god!
Such a good overlay. Yeah, that's our proposal for Trick or Treat Live.
All right, so I'll go to my show. This is a fan service event, right?
Yeah.
Wear this shirt for no reason.
No.
So my show is Bill and Ted Excellent Halloween Reunion Tour. I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain myself. Instead of recapping 1 year of pop culture, they'll be recapping the past few years and how shitty the past years have been. Talking about COVID, talking about...
Now, we had to be touchy with that.
No.
We're Orlando. We
no holds bars. This is Orlando.
There's inside jokes about there is certain things like jokes that have heard many times at this event as well, like sex with their tails.
Yes.
David S. Pumpkins, all these kind of jokes. We'll have Doc Brown show up. We'll have all these villains from different years show up. Basically bringing together everyone that was at the farewell tour and bringing them to the reunion tour, showing people that, hey, we're here. But at the end, they're going to be told by death that that's it. We can't come back anymore. We're going to screw up the timeline. This needs to be the end. So it's gonna be the last time we see them. It'll be a one.
So that's the reunion tour. So it's like a reunion tour and a retirement tour.
Exactly.
I messed with that. I feel like COVID will be a big running joke in that show.
Everyone will be running out. Wait, your mask. Like they'll have Spider-Man run out on set or something, and then he won't have his actual mask on. I'm like, yo, go get your mask. He runs and goes put on like one of those masks. Like, no, not that one, the real one.
I wish people weren't so sensitive anymore, to where they can just rag on like everything.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Because surely if they had a Bill and Ted back, they'd have to censor it a little bit.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but I would love to see Bill and Ted come back because I never got to watch them. I got to watch them in Hollywood, but
I never
in
got to watch that.
Orlando.
I got to see the farewell tour. That was my first year at the event. That was my first year at the event, and I saw the last year that they were there. And every year since then, I'm like, this
Man, I love that.
hurts. This hurts so much seeing that I only was able to see them once.
They need to come back. They'll eventually come back.
They will.
So.
Maybe in like 10 years when people stop being so soft.
Yeah, when it's just robots who live on the planet.
I think they'll be back next year.
Next year?
I mean, yeah,
Well,
who are they going to put there?
Yeah, with the whole occasion Orlando. Yeah, but that's been part 1 of our 4-part series. This one was a long episode, but I'm happy with how it came out, and I think that we all have some good maze ideas. And stay tuned, because like I said, this is part 1. This is only half of the event, of the Orlando event, and then we still have Hollywood to get into, which are some ones that I'm excited about for Orlando. More in specific of the shows.
What you're saying is this is 1/4 of the show, like the series.
Yep, there you go.
So,
1/4 of the
meaning they have
series.
to watch this one to then watch the next one to then watch.
So this is how the map looks right now. Take a good glance at it. Currently, it's on the screen, so you guys can't see our faces right now. This is how it looks. As you notice, there's some blank spots, and that's because we're not revealing the rest of it until part 2, which should come out hopefully next week or sometime. I mean, I'm going to be on vacation in the middle of this series, so it'll be a temporary pause, but nothing past 2 weeks. I hope that you guys are enjoying this, because we're all putting tons of hard work into this.
Happy 20th, you guys!
Oh yeah,
Happy
20th episode.
Oh! It took me a second. I was like, 20. Oh shit, that's right. We've been here for like 3, 4.
I think you've been here for 5.
We're 1/5 of the way through.
Well, one of them doesn't exist though?
I thought that you were supposed to keep track of this, Losh.
This is the 20th episode.
No, when Michael came on.
Right before. No. So the episode we filmed, that was Horror Nights. We were talking about the tribute store opening, but then it didn't open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the one that doesn't exist.
The one that doesn't exist.
The lost episode.
The lost episode. You guys will never see that.
Oh, yeah, because Future of Horror Nights Unscripted, Halloween Horror Nights canceled. That was the one that you came on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that was episode
15, 16, 19, 27.
So with this one, you've been on 5.
5.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, you've been on 5. So yeah, congrats to your 5.
Outro, but I'm proud of you.
I think we should retire now. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm gonna hand it down to John Murdy to run the podcast, and yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna give my seat up to Chris Williams.
Can you imagine when we hit episode 100, which will be next year most likely?
Maybe.
Well, because think of it, right? Because if Horror Nights wasn't canceled, we'd be on episode like 25 by now.
Yeah, because
Like,
probably more. We would have been talking about announcements and all that stuff already.
Yeah, because I want to dedicate each episode to one house announcement. So next year, with all the announcements, it's going to be insane.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
We're going to be filming left and right for you guys. But for now, hopefully you guys enjoy this. And we got some other ideas that we're brainstorming with right now currently to kind of keep you guys entertained until speculating starts to happen again, because that's still a couple months away until we start
coming
speculating.
soon, baby!
So yeah. Any last minute thoughts, boys?
No, I don't have any last minute thoughts. Just stay tuned for part 2 of this 4-part series.
Mm-hmm.
All I have to say is please check out all of our social medias, sub to all of our channels if you haven't already done that. Enjoy our 4-part series. Let us know what you guys like the most, what you don't like, and don't say it's any of the cartoony things or the goofy things. Just be have fun with us. What do you guys want to see at like your dream event?
Exactly. My name is Scott from SoCalExploring.
I'm Michael from Hallowed Thrills.
And I'm Adrian from LoshTV.
And we've been Horror Nights Unscripted. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, everybody. It's getting crazy out there, so stay safe.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. Wear a mask!
Positivity is key.
And remember to stay hollowed.
And every time. It gets me every time.
And buy the merch. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.